I've been very severely criticized in my community with regard to that judgment. Fortunately, three of my colleagues who supported my view are sitting here: Justice Vikramnath, Justice Mittal, and Justice Satish Sharma. As a matter of fact, there was an occasion, as Mr. Singh said, that I came into legal profession only because of my father, and it was his choice. Later on, there was possibility that I would have followed him in politics more than 40 years. I've always been guided by the Constitution, even as a lawyer. The virtues of equality, justice, liberty, and fraternity were always close to my heart. As I said in the morning, I am an ardent student of the Constitution and have read the constitutional debates in somewhat detail, and I was always inspired by the speeches made by Dr. Ambedkar, the first one on 4th of December 1948, in which he explains the principles of the Constitution, and the next one on 25th of November 1949, wherein he replies to all the amendments which were moved and opposed and passed in the Constitution. And therefore the warning that he had given in his speech on 25th of November 1949, that unless we remove the social and economic inequalities and take a step forward to or march towards achieving social and economic justice along with political justice, the edifice of democracy which we had so laboriously built would fall like a house of cards. And therefore, in my journey as a lawyer and thereafter as a judge, I always tried to stand by these principles. As a judge, when I took oath on 14th of November 2003 as a judge of the High Court, Justice Vishwanathan, we had authored a Bulldozer justice judgment, properly known as I said in Shushu's one of the Friday lectures, that normally a credit of the judgment goes to the author, but it's not correct. Behind a judgment, one judgment, many minds work. It's a cumulative effect of the hard work undertaken by all the judges, their law clerks, the researchers. One of the most important judgments that I consider with regard to importance of rule of law, I would be satisfied that we could deliver the set popularly known as bulldozer justice or demolition justice. We had held that right to shelter is a fundamental right, and merely because somebody is suspected, or even for that matter, somebody is convicted, his family who are dependent, who are residing in that house, cannot be thrown away. Their houses cannot be demolished. One of the judgments to which Mr. Vikas Singh referred was with regard to subclassification and creamy layer. I've been very severely criticized in my community with regard to that judgment. Fortunately, three of my colleagues who supported my view are sitting here: Justice Vikramnath, Justice Mittal, and Justice Satish Sharma. Though it's not expected of a judge to defend his judgment, but since now I don't have to perform any judicial work, the last of the orders about which Justice Vinod Chandra was worried are all signed. I gave an example as to whether a son of a chief secretary studying in the best of colleges in Delhi, St. Stephens, can he be made to compete with the son of an agricultural laborer studying in a Gram Panchayat or a Jilla Parishad school? Article 14, to which we are so much imbibed, it believes in equality, but equality doesn't mean equal treatment to all. Dr. Ambedkar said that if we give equal treatment to all, rather than reducing inequality, it will lead to further inequality. And therefore, a special treatment to those who are lagging behind is what the equality concept requires to be done. I ask a question to myself as to whether a person residing in a tribal area belonging to a scheduled caste category Having no means to higher education, can he be made to compete with my son, who, because of his father's office and father's achievements, is entitled to best of the schooling and best of the education? Would it be equality in a real sense, or would it permeate inequality? However, at times the politics plays more important role than the logic. But I am happy that when I penned down that judgment, one of my law clerks, who was the son of who is the son of a senior officer in Maharashtra and belonging to scheduled caste, he was saying that, sir, all the while this issue troubled me as to I am getting the best of the education and why should I get the benefits of scheduled caste? And he said that hereinafter I will not take any benefits of scheduled caste. So that one boy understood what the politicians refused to understand, or for the reasons best known to them. Liberty is another one of the pillars of the Constitution, which is close to my heart. In one case, when Brother Vishwanathan's daughter was having her Arangetram, in Chinmay Mission, the then Chief Justice of India was just walking outside the court, coming back, again going back 2-3 times. And ultimately, when there was a break for the snacks, he called me whether you would be willing to go to the court and there is an important matter. He asked Justice Dipankar Datta, Justice Bopanna, and all of us came to court at around 9:30. Tushar Bhai was there, fully charged. And I was surprised as to when a person was given an interim bail by the High Court, by this court, the learned judge had refused to give a protection even for 48 hours. The order was passed on Saturday morning and intervening Saturday and Sunday. So in such matters, if the Supreme Court does not interfere, then can it have a right to be called as a custodian of liberty of the citizens? There are other matters, I don't want to name any case. In those matters, Tushar Bhai was not there. Mr. Raju has, I think he has left for abroad. He was there in the morning. And we had the pleasure of listening to the arguments on various occasions. I think in first matter, Sandeep Bhai was there. So we asked a question to ourselves as to whether